Everybody, welcome back to Thea World, to our part 8 of the hotel app and booking engine with Angular 6, Material 2, and Firebase. Guys, I'm really excited. We got our sketch file from our designer, Thea, and she's done such a nice work here. I'm just really excited to show you guys all of this. I mean, look at all these little details. I mean, it's really nice. And thank you to Google, thank you to Thea, thank you to Material Design, thank you to everybody. And really, I mean, this is just pixelating. But anyway, so look, I just want to let you guys know that we got our design, and here is the desktop version, and that's the mobile version, and we got the assets. So you can pause the video and download all these from the links I provided you in the comments, in the description, and the symbols, the cover. I mean, this is really nice. I'm just gonna go over this really fast, and I want you guys to know how important it is, to define things. Defining things are so important, because that's what makes a difference between not just the defining that makes a difference. It's just doing things with love and care makes a difference when people get promoted 10 times in a year, and those who get promoted like once every 10 years. So if you're a front-end developer, back-end developer, whatever, it's important to have a look at this sketch files, or if you're using a PC, you don't have sketch, you're using something else, but it's important to have a look at all this. All right, it's really important, because these are little details that make you or break you. And this, look, we got all the colors. So I'm obviously going to do this on my own time, and I'm going to put all these numbers for you guys, so you guys can add them. And I just want to show you guys here, of course, the fonts. Okay, I don't fully understand everything here, but I obviously understand a lot of it, but not all of it. But we have enough information, we got enough documentation, and we are smart enough to get this done and complete, no problem. So we're just gonna follow some steps, that's all. The material components, it's really nicely put. Again, thanks to Thea, thanks to Google, thanks to material.io. And then that's that. So today, now I'm gonna go back to Google. Actually, I should have done this before. I'm gonna change directory to Thea Hotel, and I'm gonna go to ng-serve, right? Okay, ng-serve. And while that's happening, I just want you guys to know that I do understand fully what's happening here now. If you click on hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, hello 5, all these hellos, there's a big problem, because we did not add, or even if you click on accommodation, for example, this is probably not going to load because the server is not running there yet. But you see that accommodation does not show accommodation works. That's serious stuff, guys. We need to fix that. So we are going to open Visual Studio, and we're going to start working on our typography. And then we are going to, let me go to Finder, grab Thea Hotel, drag it over to Visual Studio. Right. Okay, so we're gonna have to work on our app module.html. We've got some serious issues here, and not serious, but we're just gonna move this router outlet. We're gonna move it inside here. Okay, so it's gonna go inside. It's gonna be inside the mat side nav content. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in and put in like something like this. That's just an HTML element. I'm gonna Command X this and paste it in here. And another thing, guys, please do me a favor, save yourself some pain. I'm going to open my settings file here. I'm going to click on settings. It's just this gear icon. And as you can see here, all the defaults are here, right? And over here, oh, please just don't give me those. You have the user settings. You're more than welcome to pause the... Wow. That's annoying, right? But anyway, you're more than welcome to pause the video and have a look at all this that I have. And the workspace settings, the workbench editor enabled preview, false, and the editor mini map enabled, false, because that's so annoying. The mini map on the right, it's so annoying. Please just add this to save yourself. And then after you do it, click there and then go to Command S to save it and close this. Anyway, so over here, now I want to tell you guys why it's important to move this here. Now, since our server loaded, I'm going to just Command S this, okay? And I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to go refresh, and you're going to see it says accommodation works now. And if I click on offers, it's going to say offer works now. All right. Another problem we have here is the tabs. The tabs, they're problematic. Look, the offers doesn't change. It doesn't go to hello 1, hello 2, whatever router link. Even if you add a router link right now, it's not going to work. Okay, that's because over here, if you go to Angular Material and you go to Components and you go to Command F and go Tabs, and you click over here, you're going to notice that it does, yes, say that you can use this as a navigation. And if you do use it as a navigation, use the anchor tag inside the nav element. You understand what I'm saying? So we did it the wrong way, but that's fine. It's not the wrong way. We're just going to use it somewhere else at some other time. Okay. So for instance, if I was to like come over here in the navtabs and I was to say, hey, I want to put the home component inside the navtabs, right? Okay. So the home component .ts, this selector here, remember this app home, right? So I'm going to close this and I go to my navtabs and I say, okay, well, I'm going to go to my navtabs now. Navigation, I'm going to go to navtabs and I'm going to, select the navtabs we developed last time. And over here, inside the nav tab, I'm just going to hit enter and I'm going to call this home. And inside the home, I'm going to go this. Nope, sorry. Inside the home, I'm going to go app dash home and I'm going to just save this. And since in the home, we don't have any HTML, I'm going to go to home component. I'm going to click on home component.html. I'm going to go like, homeworks, Command A, copy, V, Command V, save this. Now look what happens when I come here and I refresh this. You know what's going to happen when I click on home? Exactly. When I click on home, you're going to get the home component over here that we just added. But inside the app home component, which is here in the HTML, we have all this HTML that we put. And that's not what we want. We don't want that, remember? If we come over here, we got, of course it's not going to load. But anyway, please envision. Okay, so we have like home, accommodation, food and beverage, lifestyle. So over here, when we click on home, we want to be in home. So we can use this in the future for adding a calendar and whatnot, but we're not going to do it now. Okay, so over here, I want you to go Command Z and then save it. I'm going to close the home component for now. And I'm going to go to the navtabs component.html. And what I want you guys to do is, all I'm going to do is I'm going to follow what I just showed you earlier in the documentation. So we are going to use a navtabs container because we defined this in the navtabs component theme.scss. And we are going to use the mat navtab navbar, okay? And what we're also going to do now is we're actually going to use the Flexbox because that's going to be such an amazing tool to use it, and that's pretty much going to be our life savior. Flexbox is a life savior. So we're going to add the FX Flex and the FX Flex layout, and then the FX Flex layout align and center it in the vertical and the horizontal. All right, so the FX Flex and the FX Flex layout, Flex layout. And what else? FX layout and the FX layout align. All right, we're gonna center it. I guess center. Yeah, and then so now that we know this is gonna be centered in the center, and we did not say, oops, typo. We did not specify that it's gonna be a column, so this is gonna be a row. So please do a tutorial on Flex if you're uncomfortable. Then we're gonna remove all this. Remember, we are using just an anchor. Okay, so, and we're also gonna remove this span flex. This is not wrong, this is 100% correct, but it's just not gonna be used here. It's not gonna be used here and now. So please document this because this is a really amazing fix for the mat-types group. So document it in your blog or your documentation. You can reference to it later on. It's good to keep everything in your docs or even on your blog so you can make references to it. So again, this is not wrong, it's just we're not gonna use it here. So I'm just gonna delete all this. I'm gonna grab My battery died, and I'm gonna grab all this now. Let me just, so it doesn't die again. What did I do? Command Z. I'm removing from span to span. Okay, I'm just removing all this. Again, it's not wrong. We're just doing it differently. Again, come back to material.angular.io, and you want to go to, let's see, material.angular.io, and I'm making references to everything that I'm doing. I'm trying my best to, but please, if you don't want to, you can just clone the repo. So the whole point of this is to show you how to do this. Now, again, before we, like I said earlier, now this is for navigation. We just put the anchor tag. So I'm gonna grab all this. We don't really need all this. Why do we even have all this here? Let me just copy this here. Come over here and just put the anchor tag. And then inside it, you can paste all this in. You know, okay. So I'm just gonna put some spacing here. Okay, like that. All right, so that's a router link. We don't need that. We can just put here home. All right, there we go, router link. So basically, well, what it's doing is checking if it's in the bar. If the link is in the bar, and then it's checking if it's active. If the link is active, then it puts an underline underneath it. You know, it puts an underline inside the tab. But there's one thing we're missing, mat tab. Speaking of tab, mat tab link, mat tab dash link. So yeah, so this takes you to the path, the home page. Let me just put here home. Okay, so you guys know what to do for other other projects. Okay, it would be something like this. That should work. And of course, we have to type in home here and save that. Yeah. All right. Let's come back here and come to Thea. Okay, perfect. So that works. Of course, it's in home, so there's no home there because that's the root path. That's why we just added a slash here, a forward slash. So let's just copy this now and let's just paste it in a couple of times. Let's just put some space. Paste it in, paste it in, paste it in, paste it in 6 times. And we're gonna have come back here. Why am I in until this loads here? Let me just continue doing what I'm doing. So we got home, we got accommodation, and of course accommodation. Let's copy that and paste it here and paste it here for the link. And so did I do this right? Mat tab link, outer accommodation is active. Put an underline if it's active. Okay, all right. So first checks if it's in the bar. If it's in the URL bar, then if it's active, then it puts this puts the underline. So I can show. Well, no point to show you now because now let's just finish this here. So here is food and beverage, food dash and dash beverage. Let's grab this here for the food and beverage and paste it here. And let's paste it here. And here we're gonna put food. Food. Let me escape that and beverage. Food and beverage. What else we got? Lifestyle. Lifestyle and lifestyle. Copy, paste, and paste it here. What else we got? Why is this like this? Anyway, okay, great. I get frustrated too, guys. I get frustrated all the time. It's just, okay, so home, accommodation, food and beverage, lifestyle, weddings and celebrations, which is going to be celebrations for now, and then offers. So let's put celebrations. Copy this and paste it. and paste it. Cool. And then we have offers, and we got offers, copy, paste, and paste. Now that should work. Save everything. Yep. So let's come back, refresh the page, and oh, all right. So I guess we have inspect. My battery died. And just yep. So let's just come back to console and router links, food, and dash. Okay. So I know what the problem here is. We're gonna get this done, and all right. So let's just remove this here. Okay. I don't know. This may not be the we should look for Angular 6 and check this out in docs. And anyway, so I'm just gonna save this. I'm not gonna do this now during this video. So I'm just gonna get this done now and go to app routing module. There we go. Food and beverage. Okay, we gotta just get this done now. Oh boy. So come back here, and what we have to do is just basically add a redirect. Like I said, I'm gonna check this up again later on my own time. So let's just put a path, and let's call that food, and no spacing, nothing, just a food and beverage. Okay, and I suppose we can, yep, let's put the single quotes in there, and let's put the direct to. Joking, right? If I ever get this right, and then redirect to. Thank you for autocomplete. Beverage. Food dash and dash beverage, and let's call the path match. Path match. Let's say it's full. So if we save this now, put a comma there. Don't forget, guys, put a comma. So we got a path, food and beverage. Save it. I just want to get this done right now. So again, save this for constructive criticism. I really okay. So all right. So this is good, but it's not good because we still have an error. Let's just copy this and put it here. Save it. You see that? Come here. Like 99% of you guys are really supportive. I want to say thank you so much for supporting me, and even but there's some very 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 seldom that they'll just try to break and ruin everything. But for an open source project like this, I mean, this is a really great solution for hotels because they're losing like millions of dollars a year from 3-star hotels to 5-star resorts just because they don't spend enough money on their web development. And of course, this is like a real solution because it takes 20 minutes for most of their websites to load and to not load, but I'm serious. It does take 20 minutes to make a booking. I mean, try to go any hotel, try to make a booking direct, see how hard it is. So again, this is a solution, and if people get inspired by this, they can in the future make solutions for their communities, and they can promote programming to make a difference in the world, because we all have a role, we all have a purpose in life. So sharing and doing that, it's gonna promote it. Code can change the world. You can change the world with code. You can do so much. So if you can prove that for an industry, you can also prove that for your community and for everything else. So I'm gonna close this now, and there's something doesn't seem right here, but okay. We're gonna work on this as we go. So let's just test the home page. Okay, that home works. Accommodation works. Food and beverage works. Lifestyle, celebrations, offers. Some of you may even say, hey, you put all this stuff here on the left. I know, but we got sign in. We'll work on this as we go. It's a big project. It's not, and not everything is defined. Okay, like we didn't define everything. specifically the Trello. Here we're gonna have to work on this. Anyway, so I'm gonna just come back here and I'm gonna start working right now. Let's work on the meat and potatoes. Navtab components. I'm gonna just make sure I close this. We don't need this. App routing. We don't need that. App component. We don't need that. So let's close the navtabs and close navigation. Home component.html. All right, let's just remove all this here because here, remember, I'm gonna just come here. We are doing this. Okay, we're gonna put the image and the book now button and this text over here. All right. So we are gonna have to basically put. Okay, let's start with a div here now, and inside the div, let's put a class. Let's say it's a container. And inside that container, let's put another div, and we're gonna have to put the. Well, I guess we're gonna put a flex. Yeah, we'll use another div and put a flex layout. Okay, so we'll put fx flex layout. So fx flex layout, fx flex. No, align because we have to align this. We have to align this to the right. Okay, but if we put just fx flex, that will do, and we're gonna align this to. Remember, if you so hang on. If we don't specify whether it's a column, it's gonna treat it as a row. And if it treats it as a row, we can't say center. Okay, so we're gonna have to put flex end, which will move everything to the right. Okay, so we'll put a flex dash end. So that means everything in this division here is gonna be moved to the far right. All right, and in here we're gonna add the button, just like just like here, this book now button. So let's put in a button, yep, and then let's put a book now. And inside the button, now again, I'm gonna come here and make some references in material because I like to reference as much as I can. Let's just go to components, button. Okay, click on button and then just click on examples. And here, the stroke buttons, the stroke button here. So it's command F stroke. Okay, so you can actually put a matte stroke button and then it's a basic button, color primary. All right, so let's put color equals to primary matte stroke button, right? And then it's a matte stroked button. What else? Yeah, book now, matte stroke button, color primary, and let's save this. And let's go to the home. Okay, so we got our button here, right? So let's put in this case, we have a division here with a flex, fx flex, fx flex, layout align flex end. Let's open our home component.css. Thankfully, we have CSS. It's really nice. And what we're going to do is we're going to start adding some classes there because obviously we have to style the container. And inside the container is going to go the image. The image is going to be in the container. It's the parent container. And that's where over here, that's the parent container. This container has to have an image. You see what I'm saying? It has to have an image. So, yeah, and let's just add another class here since we're gonna to have some more control. So class equals to I don't know, a container, or maybe call it like a container book now. Or well, okay, book book now dash container. Now that's more meaningful. Book now container or whatever, we can call it a CTA, call to action container. Save it, come back to home components, put a period, paste it in because it's a class, it's not an HTML element, and then we can start adding some styles here. in the container. Okay, all right, let's just take it one step at a time. Come here, container. Okay, so let's just move the images for now. I don't know if yeah, right. So check your comments in the description. There's a URL. So I added these images. So I'm gonna copy these so you can get those images. I'm gonna copy this, and I'm going to go to my assets folder if I find it in the images, assets images, and I deleted the previous images there. So I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna drag it over to the images. I don't know why I deleted it. I deleted it when my battery died earlier. Right, I had deleted because I was actually working and this did not change. That's why. All right. So in case you are wondering what happened, my battery had died, and I was really not happy because I had. It was actually no, the video recorder stopped, and then the battery died. Anyway, so yeah, so we have the images here. We have to go to the home. Before we do anything, I'm just gonna stop you guys for a second, and let's go to navigation, header, and header component.html. And this is what I want you guys to do. Is I want you to add, after you add the images folder inside the assets folder, I want you to go to source here, assets images, Thea hotel underscore logo.png, okay, to change the logo. All right. Okay, good. All right, so close this. Now on the container here, we need to add the image. So I'm gonna copy this class here, come to the home component, container, and we have to give it a height of 100. No, let's just put a background URL. So what are we doing? Assets. Yeah, so background URL is assets, images, and that's home, yeah, home underscore beach dot JPEG. Okay, and we have to write no repeat. Okay, save that. Let's see how it looks now. Come back here. Well, it doesn't look very good. That's okay. So let's come back here and give it a height of 100. Come back here, refresh. Okay, that looks better. Now, when you compare it to this, of course, we have not done our styling for the typography yet, but we're gonna do it. And for now, we haven't done anything. So just so you know, don't worry. The book now, if you come here and we inspect this, I'll give you guys the URL for this and make it open so you guys can have a look. We have a width of, in the right here, you can see 170, a border radius 1 pixel solid white, border radius 4 pixels. Background is whatever. And then we got 35 pixels to the top, 115 pixels to the right. All right. So, okay. So obviously we have to change the color. Right. So let's just come back here. And since we have to customize this button, let's put a class here and put a book now button maybe, or yeah, book now button. Book dash now. Sorry guys. Book dash now dash button. There we go. That should be good. Book now button. That's kind of long. Should be a CTA. Whatever. It's more meaningful. Copy that. Come back here, and we want to start styling. Let's put a width of 170 pixels. Color, let's say it's white, because it is. border, 1 pixel solid white. What else did we miss? What else did we miss? Oh, text transform, text dash transform upper. What else? That's it. That's all we need. So let's save that. Come back. Well, don't hang on a second. Don't just save that. You gotta save the home component.html because we added a class. Save this. Come back here. Let's see where that takes us. Okay. Well, it took us to places, which is cool. That's a good thing. I mean, at least we got we got that done. So we need to. This is inside, so this needs to go to the right, and we did, but why it's not going? So the book now container, let's style that. We got an FX flex with FX flex layout aligned to flex end, which is a row by default. So FX flex, FX. Wow. I totally got this wrong. Totally, FX layout align. Save this again, I'm sorry. Come back here. Okay, there we go. So now it's working. I was thinking, why was it not working? So, okay, that's good. Let's grab the book now container, and we obviously have to give it some padding because over here, this button has padding on the right and padding on the top. This is controversial, okay? But I say this because in the past, when you look at Material, they have their own design, protocols, so standards. So let's come here and put some, I already put it there. Let's say a padding of 115 pixels, all right? Okay, save that, come here. All right, so give us everywhere. Give us a padding everywhere, 115. What about the top? Okay, so I guess we can say 35 pixels to the right, 115. Which is up and down to 35, and then left and right 15, which doesn't make sense because I'll show you now. It won't make sense because, I'll tell you why this is not going to make sense. Because, it works like this, but it doesn't really work. Because if you were to go to mobile and just go to the zoom 100%, make sure you're in zoom 100%. Yeah, I guess it does. But anyway, we'll have to make some changes on the mobile. And of course the navtabs, so we'll get that later. One step at a time, baby steps. Because when you think about it, yeah, but the FX layout is saving us. So if it was just CSS, you obviously would have, if we were not using FX layout, it wouldn't have saved us. But so I guess this works up and down, left and right. Okay, so what else do we need to do? We did the book now container, book now button, the container. We can also add a linear gradient here to make this slightly darker, but whatever, let's just follow the design. And home component.html, so we're aligning this to the far right with a color of primary. But you know what? It's a good idea. Nah, I can just leave it like, I was gonna put a division in here, but it's a good just leave it like that. Book now, keep it simple. Book now container, and then we'll put another container for the header container. Okay, div header dash container. Container. All right. So in here, we can put another division, and we're gonna do the same thing that we did for the book now. We're gonna put a FX flex with FX layout and FX layout align this time, okay? So we can just grab FX flex and FX layout and FX layout align, okay? So over here, yeah, there we can put center, and let's see what happens. Right, okay. Vertical and horizontal. Yeah, and then here we can just put an H1. Let's just put a div, just whatever, it's just H1. All right, H1 will do. All right, I'm gonna tie beach resort and spa. Beach resort and spa. Okay, save that. Come back here. Let's see what happens. Oh, beautiful. I mean, you know, it's okay. I mean, we got somewhere. So let me just get out of this thing. It's so frustrating, you know, when you got like things that take forever to load. So it's luxury beachfront resort and then a Thai beach resort and spa. So let's. We've come far, but maybe we didn't do right. Okay, so whatever. Let's just leave that. We're gonna style typography. Now typography. Oh boy, typography. It's gonna be interesting to do. And what I want you guys to do now is come back here. I want you to go to guides and then go to theming. No, theming using Angular materials typography. Please pause the video and just have a look, okay? I want you to know that over here on the sketch file, now remind me later, on the sketch file, I want you to know that in the material theme, we have all these. So we have to basically interpret these inside of Visual Studio Code in our theme. So we have to come back. Let me just minimize all these things. There's so many. So our Thea Hotel.scss, we're gonna have to do the same thing. Now I want you guys to come back to node modules and please just do me a favor and go to material, Angular, and then go down to material and scroll down to like last time theming.scss. Guys, this is the last time. Maybe there's gonna be one more time for other things, but this pain is gonna be over with theming. It's not pain, but you know, when you have to watch tutorials, I know what it's like because I watch tutorials all the time, and sometimes when you're trying to figure it out and you just want to get to the point, but it's a good idea to just go to Command F and type in typography. So you see all these functions here. They basically, wow, there's a lot of there. So around line 1574, you will see this function which defines all these fonts. Okay, and basically the first one is the font size, and then the second one is the font line height, and the third one is the weight. All right, so size, line height, weight. Don't forget that. Okay, so just want you to take a good look at this. All right, and you probably go, well, what's display 3? What's display 2? So over here, they define display 4, display 3, display 2, display 1. It says large one-off headers usually at the top of the page, like a hero header. Okay, like this. And over here, the headline is the H1 tag. The title is the H2 tag. the subheading to is the h3 tag. All right. So this means that when you come to the sketch file and we see that our h1 is 97.54, and this doesn't make sense, this letter spacing, I don't know if this changed with MDC, but whatever, I'm not gonna put that there. But anyway, it was just probably a something, maybe a typo. Yeah, that's a typo. All right. So the yeah, you understand what I'm saying. So when I come back here to Visual Studio, obviously we're not gonna modify the underscore theming.scss, but we're gonna put it in a Thea hotel.scss. What I'm saying is we're gonna say the headline, because they said that in documentation, I just showed it to you a second ago, we're gonna put 97 pixels here, okay? And it's 400. We have to. We actually also have to get not Roboto. We're gonna get Rubik from Google Fonts. So you can just go to fonts query. There we go. So we just type in Rubik here, and guys, don't forget this, that when you do this, of course this is the font we want, but on the sketch file it says, look, just pay attention here, it's a light font, it's a regular font, and it's a medium font. Okay, so just remember that, light, regular, and medium. All right, so this means that over here, when you look at the fonts, the light is 300, the medium is 400, and the regular is 500. Okay? Now I just know this. Don't tell me how I know this, but I know it. But just come here, and you have to select the correct fonts. You have to select it. So if you click on select this font, and you come here, and you say custom, don't just go to like copy this. That's going to be wrong. You have to click on customize, and you have to select the 400, which is regular. You have to select the light, which is 300, and you have to select the medium, which is 500. And then after you select those three, then you can click on embed, and you can either choose the add import or the standard. We're going to choose the standard for now, and we're going to copy and paste that into our index file. So we're going to copy that, Command C, and as you can see, the font family is use the following CSS rules to specify these families: font family, Rubik, and sans serif. All right, cool. So come to Visual Studio and minimize this huge massive file. Come to index. Kidding me, right? Right. Index. Okay. So this here, you're not going to remove this material icons. You're going to leave that as is, and you're just going to remove the Roboto, and that's it. And you just go to Command S, save it. And now that we've added the font family, that's a good step. Come back to, we don't need this anymore. Okay, so we can close this. And just follow the steps. These steps are like step-by-step guide. I mean, it's super, I shouldn't say super simple, but it's once you get it right once, everything else it becomes very, very simple. So all you gotta do is just pause the video and go over this just by yourself, please, because it's so important that you follow with me in what we're doing. Yeah, so promise you're gonna pause the video and just go over this step by step, because you did this already in the previous part. All right, okay, so I hope you paused the video. Anyway, so I'm gonna come back to Visual Studio. I'm gonna close my index.html, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically copy this whole entire function, okay? But I'm gonna grab this function from here all the way from here all the way down to here. Okay, I'm gonna copy that, and I'm gonna come to theahotel.scss. And since this is the end of our coloring, navtabs component styles here, that's the end of our coloring. Anyway, I'm just gonna put this here so that my eyes are just, you know, easy to read. And then I'm gonna paste that in here. All right, so don't forget the semicolon at the end. And of course, you have to change this here to Thea typography. I'm gonna change it to Thea typography. I'm making this more meaningful. Of course, it's a variable. So Thea typography. And now, obviously, this is a function. So Rubik, and do you remember? Oh boy. Oh, sans serif. Thankfully, I forgot. It's sans serif and sans serif. Okay, make sure it's in quotes. So now that we did this, now I'm gonna start putting the numbers in because no, I'm not gonna put any numbers. Do I have? Yeah, I have. Okay, so we're gonna have to get those numbers from here. All right, so we'll just grab those numbers from Sketch. But let's just do this one step at a time, all right? So over here, we have the H1, we got 97.54. Now look, this like, whenever you see like 0.54, this is not respected. It's not respected if it's in pixels. Obviously, it's in pixels, so it's not respected at all. It rounds it to like 98. But whenever it does the calculation to a child of the child element, then it respects it. So I'm gonna put the period anyway, the decimal anyway, just because it's that. And I'm not gonna try to reinvent the wheel and try to say, oh, but it doesn't respect it. What's the point of putting decimal and this and that? So I'm just gonna put the decimal. All right. I'm gonna get humble a little bit, put the decimal, and not assume things. Because there's some calculations that are based on decimal, and depending on the browser. So I'm gonna just put the decimal, but this minus 1.5, I don't think that obviously I'm not gonna put that. All right. So again, having a ready design is so important. So I don't want this to get any longer, but I'm explaining to you guys so that you guys can understand. Okay, so that's the 97.54, 60.96, 48.77. All right. So come back over here to Visual Studio, and we're going to start with the H1. Remember, the headline is H1. So we are going to start with the headline, which is H1. So 97.40 whatever. I forgot. So let me just pause the video. Actually, not. I'll just do it like this. It's 97.54, 60.96, 48.77. So 97.54. The line height, I don't know. See, we don't know. See, that's why people get stuck. People get stuck because developers get stuck when they don't have all the requirements. Anyway, so the title is the H2, which we said it was 60.96, right? So 60.96. There's actually no reason to do that. Let's just put 61. And then for the line height, we just put 0. This is really wrong, putting 0. Anyway, and that's the font weight, it's 500. And we got the H3, which is subheading 2. We got 48.77. It was 48.77, 48.77. And the line height, I don't remember. It was 0.5, I think. Yeah, 0.25. All right. Come back to Sketch and grab the H4 is 3454. Subheading 1 is 3454. Okay, and that was 0.5. No, it's actually, yeah, that's also 0.5. 0.25. All right, now the body. Body 1 is 1626 with 0.5, and body 2 is 1422.5. So the body 1, 1626, and that was 0.5. The line height was 0.5. And the body 2 was 1422 with 0.25. 14.22 with 0.25. All right. Now, a lot of you may say, man, why are you putting 0.22? I'm just doing it because I don't want to sound like a smartass and make assumptions, all right? So I'm going to leave it there. And then later on, we're going to, and some of you, if you have advice, please constructively tell me to help us, rather than just to bash us, yeah? So we have the caption and the button that's left. Now over here, I don't have anything here for the, oh, we do 1422, 1.25, and the caption is 1219. All right, and 0.4. Come back here. So we got 14.22 for the button, and then it's 1.25, 1.25, and the caption was 1219, right? It was 1219. What did I just do? 12.19, and that was 1.25. All right, and that's that. I'm gonna save everything, but we're not done yet. We're gonna go back to documentation, all right? And we're gonna just follow these steps here, like, step by step. Include, like I said to you, please just read it again, pause the video, read it. I'm just gonna copy and paste, all right? Come here, paste everything. So wherever you see custom, that's gonna be Thea typography, Thea typography, Thea typography, and that's the base. And then the checkbox, you can read up on this, and we obviously need to include it in the mat port, right? So mat port, and pass it Thea hotel. Thea typography. Okay, that's that. Now that's pretty much done. That gives us our typography. Save it. And you're probably wondering, why did you leave these as they are? I left them as they are because we did not define them in the sketch file, and I'm just gonna leave the default ones. So now I'm gonna test this. Okay, this is the moment of truth. Copy the headline, come back to the home component, and let's put the class headline. Actually, it's mat headline. Save it. Come back here, and let's see. Ha! Beautiful. This is beautiful. So we are on our way to developing something really beautiful, and we're on the right track. All right. Now, obviously, these things need to add the classes here, like body2. So we can come back to, anyway, let's just, continue what we're doing here. We got the FX Flex layout. Let's make this a column. I missed that. Save that. Come here, and that should be in the center here, because it's oh, I guess not. Wow. Okay. Okay, and that's okay. I think we did everything correct. Oh, wow. Okay, so hang on a second. First of all, I put column here. This is supposed to be flex FX layout. FX layout column, and let's save that, and then come here. Right, and now we have to actually add another FX layout, and make that a row, because it could be a row and a column at the same time. Okay, so come back here and see where that takes us. Okay, it doesn't take us anywhere. I'm not sure why. Well, I guess that's that. I don't even know what's the need of having a header container here, so I'm just going to remove the header container because we haven't even added any classes yet, so it's just adding more. It's making it more difficult. of course, the line height. I need to work on the line height, and we need to add some margin, but that's, again, that's not right. We can, okay. So for sure we should, actually I made a mistake. Let me just come back here. Row, this is correct. So we can do the same thing again. Let's just inspect the element here and test it here first, okay? Okay. Yeah, actually I researched this, and as you can see here, these things are not really aligned. They're aligning to the top. It's just I don't work with Flex day in and day out. So anyway, I researched it, and I paused the video earlier, just so you guys don't have to just watch me doing all this. And again, look, the FX layout line directive should be used in the DOM containers whose children should be aligned on the main and cross axis. So what does this tell us? This tells us that over here we need to move whose children. So I did this completely wrong, and anyway, I'm gonna copy this here now, and I'm gonna paste it. I'm gonna command exit. Okay. And I am going to paste it in here, just so you guys can see. So it's FX column, FX layout. It's what we got from here. Actually, no, it's not. So I'm gonna just copy that. Sorry, and I'm gonna paste it in. Again, if you're not working with this day in and day out, you will have to stop and research and look and look and look. That's just what the web development is about. You have to take notes. Always take notes and put it on your blog or your documentation. That's when you look over here. This is not always like for like really smart people who just, you know. So I just want you to know there's a lot of times, a lot of developers of private projects, they put a lot of details about this bug and that bug with this dependency and that dependency and this version and this how it was solved, etc. So that you don't forget. That's the whole point of learning. There's nothing worse than going back in the past to find out that you forgot how you fixed that issue and then redoing it again. It's just like running on a treadmill like a hamster. So again, we copied this. We came here. We have the vision here with the mat headline. Let's save that, see where that takes us. Come back here. And we have to take the header container and give it a height, home component.css. Okay, there we go. So obviously this is not exactly, so let's just come back here to home component.html. I'm going to leave this division here for now. Copy this, and so we got the H1 and the H2. So we are using subheading 2, and we are gonna put it here. No, up in the top. Luxury beachfront resort. Let's change this to H3 first. Come back here and refresh this. Of course, there's no line height. Let me just add another one here, call it a column. To the line height, we need to change the line height of, this was wrong in the sketch file, guys, so we need to change this, the headline. We need to put 32 here, save that. Again, it's so important to have a predefined design. So we need to put that up in the top. Anyway, so I'm gonna get this done tomorrow. I'm really tired now, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys can work on your own. Try to get these matching with this here. I'm gonna add all the files. Of course, you have them there in the comments, and not in the comments, in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Oh, hang on, the book now button. Let's put a radius. Border radius of 4 pixels. Let's do the easy stuff. Okay, there we go. So that's that. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. I'm really tired. I'm off checking out. Thanks again for everything, guys. Thank you very, very much. And I look forward to completing this. I really can't wait to get this done. All right, see you guys. Oh, and please don't forget to push to GitHub, okay? Do not forget to push to GitHub. And if you have any errors with Flex Layout version 6 beta, which is I think 1.8 or something beta, make sure you update Angular. That's what I'm going to do in the next tutorial as well. We're going to update Angular to the latest version because it just came out. All right. See you guys in the next tutorial. Thanks. Bye.